Yo, what's going on, guys? Today, we're going to be making a Scream 6 video on some Scream 6 news that just came out today from ViewerAnon, and a clip and an image from a scene that came today from one of the Super Bowl commercials from one of the TV spot trailers. I'm pretty sure it was the fourth TV spot trailer. Um, I covered that on my channel, and I had said in that video about how they said they're gonna play the fourth TV spot trailer in the Super Bowl commercial, and then they played it during the Super Bowl commercial today, um, and they played a certain scene that a lot of us didn't see before, and we're gonna be talking about that, the whole Super Bowl commercial stuff, the image. Um, first, I want to talk about this viewing on stuff. Um, but before I get into it, if any of you guys are new, please like, subscribe to your channel. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're gonna dive right into it. So ViewerAnon said this today on Twitter. He said this: "Oh snap! We're less than 4 weeks away from Scream 6. I enjoyed the reaction to a dialogue teaser I did before. So here's another one pointing to one of the best lines in the movie. Tell Sidney blank. I won't confirm or deny guesses. Come back after you see it." And then at the bottom, ViewerAnon says here, "Don't stress yourself trying to work it out. This is just for fun." And bragging rights, if someone gets it early, movie is very close. So basically, ViewerAnon, um, he said right here that he enjoyed a reaction to a dialogue teaser that he did before. So here's another one pointing to one of the best lines in the movie. Tell Sidney blink. What exactly does that mean here? I I mean, I couldn't, I don't even know. I've seen some fans, they have already put some theories out there and theorized some stuff, and I have thought of some stuff that I'm gonna say right now as some theories. But as for the Sydney stuff, being brought up in Scream 6, I mean, a lot of us already knew that Sydney's name would be brought up eventually in Scream 6 because, I mean, even because Viewer and Non said it himself that there was going to be some type of reference to Sydney in Scream 6. Jenna Ortega even talked about there being like some um, reference, I'm pretty sure, to Sydney. Even the directors said, they were going to have some reference to Sydney too. So this, I guess what I'm trying to point out here is just in general when it comes to viewing on what he's saying here about them bringing up Sydney at some point in Scream 6. Um, I'm basically trying to say that that's not really surprising because this had already been referenced before by many others that have said that they're going to reference Sydney in Scream 6 in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not really surprised by that in general. But however, he does say in Scream 6 that there's going to be a line about Sydney, and it says here one of the characters is going to say and quote, "Tell Sydney blank." What exactly is one of the characters going to say about Sydney in the blank? I don't know. I mean, I've thought about this. Like maybe Gail is the one who's gonna say in the movie she's gonna be like tells Sydney um, to come help. Like maybe Gail is like injured towards the end of Screen 6, um, and we're like heading towards the end of the movie, and Gail is like she's just like um, she tells one of the characters, she's like, tell Sydney to come help, or tell Sydney I want to speak to her, or something like that. Maybe so. Yeah, maybe this is what viewing on is talking about here with one of the lines about Sidney in this film. Maybe Gail is the one who's going to be talking about Sidney here. And of course, like I said, ViewerAnon said only tell Sidney, and he left it blank because we don't know what the full quote or line will be in the film or who is saying this about Sidney. But I'm just theorizing here that it could be Gail who says this. She could be like, she could be telling someone like, "Oh, tell Sidney, we need her help" or something like that. You know, that's just one of the theories I thought of. Um, or like maybe it's um, one of the characters reference Sidney, like maybe Sam or Tara or something. One of the newer characters they reference Sidney, like they're um, like maybe they're like, "Oh, tell Sidney, um, you know, like like we need directions," or like because I feel like maybe some of the newer characters will probably feel like they need help from Sydney, and they'll probably reference that at some point in the film in Scream Six. Um, but then again, who knows? Maybe that's not the case. But like I said, these are just some of the theories that I thought of. And I also thought of maybe the one maybe the killer at the end of the film in Scream Six has a phone call with maybe Gail or whoever. Like it could be any character, and Ghostface is calling someone, and they say on the phone towards the end of the film, they're like, "Tell Sydney I'm coming after her," or something like that. I don't know, man. I mean, it's something to think about, definitely for sure. Um, like I said, I mean, there's so many ways I feel like this could play out in the film. So I'm intrigued. I'm interested, to see how what this line is gonna actually be. Um, because like I said, viewing on left it blank, the line blank from the quote in the film on purpose, because so that way we won't know what. So that way a lot of us won't know what it is. But um, yeah, and obviously we don't know what character is going to be saying this about Sydney either. So I mean, it's a mystery to a lot of us, but it's also interesting to theorize about because, like I said, this could play out in the movie. This line from whoever is going to be saying it could play out in many ways in the film. So yeah, I mean, like I said, who knows? They could have some type of reference to Sydney, and maybe just some small reference to Sydney in general in Scream Six, like they've been saying, just a small reference to her, and because I feel like they would at least have to have a small reference to her, at least like in general, because at least to acknowledge the fact that she's not there, and these killings are not involving her anymore. Um, so I feel like it would at least make sense to have some kind of small reference to her. Um, but of course, it's not like she has to be referenced the whole movie, But like at least just a small reference, I feel like it would make sense, towards Sydney's character and explaining her absence and whatnot. So yeah, it's like I said, it's interesting that ViewerAnon posted this today. Like the line that's going to be said in the film about Sydney, I don't know what it's going to be and what it could be, or what character is going to say this about Sydney. Like I don't know. Um, and I'm sure Fate Decided and a lot of these other YouTubers that are going to cover this, most likely tomorrow, they're going to be talking about this too and giving their own theories. Um, so I'm intrigued by that, but just to see what some of them have to say about this. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. Um, but yeah, like let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think is going to be said here by the killer, or not by the killer? Like, what do you guys think is gonna be said here? 'Cause, like whenever the line here that says "Tell Sidney," but and it's just left blank. What do you think that line is gonna be? Tell Sidney what? Like what you guys think the line will be? What character do you think is gonna be saying the line? Like, let me know in the comments below. Um, and yeah, like I think this is just all interesting to theorize about. And yeah, that basically that's really all I have to say on that matter. But now I'm gonna be talking about this image right here. Like I said, the you guys remember I talked about it in the beginning of this video. I talked about it in the fourth TV spot trailer in that video too, about how the fourth TV spot trailer was gonna be played at the Super Bowl as a commercial. Um, and this scene right here of Kirby was added to the Super Bowl commercial, which wasn't originally in the fourth TV spot trailer. Because I watched the fourth TV spot trailer and I covered it and I break it down on my channel, and I did not see this scene in the fourth TV spot trailer. So this scene was added. Like I guess they decided to add it this extra scene of Kirby in the Super Bowl commercial. Um, they just decided to add it, but it's an interesting image here.